And welcome to episode 6 of Bras, Bitches, and Balls with Lee Padgett.
Hey!
Sitting in for Nick this week, I am Newman. We are going to welcome Lisa Burden and Amy Heimerl. With that, going to turn it right over to Lee.
Hi there. Welcome to Bras, Bitches, and Balls again. Thank you, Vomit Spots, for letting us use your awesome music. And I'll get another song another time, but that one it's the one that I really, really love. So it's good. Thanks for having us back again, Podcast Detroit, Jessica. I'd like to go ahead and break us into the bra of the week. Lisa, would you grab that for me? The bra of the week is from Elomi. And
I wear an Elomi.
Yeah.
I'm very, very...
Prove it.
I'm like, which one am I wearing today?
I don't know. But yeah, it's Busted Bra Shop is a sponsor of this podcast, and I happen to have 2 customers here who are probably wearing product to the store.
Definitely
I am not.
wearing product.
I am not.
We do
wearing
have
product.
sacks for men, but if you want to wear something lacy up against your skin, that's your fetish. So here we go. The bra of the week is called Nicole, and she is absolutely gorgeous, and she has been going bonker-doodles on our Facebook page. People have just been coming in and buying it, and I'm ordering more. It is strappy. It is supportive. It is beautiful, and it's comfortable. It's crazy. So it's black. It's red. It's got this wonderful sparkles, but I'm going to
I'm sorry, did you say sexy too? Because it's sexy.
Isn't that sexy?
Sexy.
It's really hot. Newman, what do you think?
I think it is fantastic.
Isn't that a gorgeous bra? Okay, so this bra has all the strappy-doos that you want to show off in your low-cut blouses, right? But yet it's got this 4-part panel. It's got a side panel here that's really going to caress and bring that breast up and forward, taking away from the silhouette on the side, it's a healthier way to minimize that if you want to. But it brings it all forward, which is nice. Then you've got the matching panties with the straps there too. So let's see what the back looks like. It's got a nice little keyhole. I don't know if Jessica, can you see that?
I'm trying to. Do you want to lift her up a
I
little bit?
can.
I
Look
don't know.
at that ass.
There we go.
Right? Yeah. So come on in. This bra will go up into the 44 band. And I know I'm not talking to the mic. Into the 44 band. And she's just lovely. If you've never been professionally fit, I cannot recommend this strongly enough. Getting a professional fit will change your world. And who cares what size you've been in the past? Let's get you in the size that really, really works and fits you best. Ladies, what do you think?
I absolutely recommend it. Lee has fit me several times, and I was never in the size that I was wearing from department stores, but Lee got me something that actually lifts, caresses, pushes in, does everything I need it to do. I love it. My husband loves it. Everybody loves it.
And then you've got a lot of the pressure off of your neck and off of your back, right, Lisa?
And I would say I was fit by one of those mall stores, and they, of course, were not in the right size. But one of the things that I realized is when you get home and you want to rip your bra off as soon as you get home, when you're fitting in the right bra, you don't necessarily feel like that. Like I've fallen as... Hello,
Nicole fell on us. And I actually have to say that my mother and all of my best girlfriends fly from New York, LA, and Denver to Detroit to buy their bras from Lee and Busted because the fitting is so important.
People don't, I'll tell people that we have people from around the country that come and see us. And they don't believe me, but yeah, your family and friends are some of them. And then today I have a lady, it's her 4th time from California coming in since 2015. And she came in again and was like, I can't buy bras anywhere else, and yours are pretty. So we did that thing.
Did she sing it to you?
Pretty much. She was really, really cute. She was older than me, too, so it was amazing. So, yeah, great. It was a good thing.
And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm wearing the beige Matilda.
You are. Oh, the Matilda. I sold her 2 Matildas today, a beige
Yeah.
and a periwinkle.
purple? Oh, I love
yeah,
the
she
purple
went
one, too.
nuts for that, too. So we'll bring that next time so that you get to see the Matilda. It's a little sheer and sexy. It supports beautifully, and it has a J-hook, which makes it into a racerback. All right, so that's our bras for today. We got lots of bras. We could talk bras all day long.
Yes, we could.
We could talk about wires popping out. We could talk about all kinds of things. And I think we should do that on a show where we talk about all the things that you want to bitch about a bra and see if I can solve the issue. I might be able to.
Ooh, can we stump Lee with our bra problem?
You could do this thing. I mean,
Underwires. Why they don't actually suck.
why they don't actually say- and it's been 4 years of me and boobs in the city of Detroit. I've seen all different kinds of issues
And
We've
bras,
solved things.
too.
And bras. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, boobs, bras, whatever. People walk up
Nuts.
to me and they're like, "Yeah, nuts. That is a nutty thing." People walk up and say, "Oh my God, we're at a party together and you've seen my boobs." I don't remember them. Don't worry, I do remember your smile though, so that's good.
That sounds like college for some of us.
So this is going to be kind of a strange show today. I want to read one of my stories to you because we brought Amy in with us. Because she's like literate and shit.
I know about words. I like words.
Words be good.
Words be good.
And I wrote a story.
Yay!
Yay,
can't
we're
wait.
very excited
We
to
wanna
hear
hear
it.
Thank you. It was years ago. But first, talk to us about the Shady Ladies.
Well, I founded an organization called the Shady Ladies Literary Society, and there's a very simple 3-part test to know if you are in fact a shady lady. The first test is, do you support women and women's voices and the stories that women can tell?
I do. Do you?
Absolutely.
I do. I think we should respond to you.
Do you like good food?
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Do you
Have you
like
seen the
good
size of my
food.
ass lately?
Weren't we talking about steak
Yes.
before we got on here?
Do you like cocktails?
Yes.
Then you are in fact a shady lady. And there is one final bonus question. Are you a man who supports and likes all of these things?
I am
Then you, too, my friend, are a shady lady.
outstanding. I'm just not a slim shady lady.
None of us are. I don't want to be a slim shady lady. I just want to be shady.
Except that he did like bash the crazy orange man. in the
Moving
White
on.
House. Yeah, which made me happy. I was like, yeah.
But no, so the shady
Redirecting
ladies.
this conversation.
Sorry, redirecting back to the. No, the Shady Ladies Literary Society brings in emerging women authors, and we really do focus on women that are debut novel or nonfiction book or their second. People we can really help support when they're getting started in their career. We bring them to Detroit. We pair them with a local chef. We've had a chef from Republic. We've had Gabriel Hall. We're working with Coriander Kitchen. We pair them with a local bartender to make a custom cocktail design just to match with their book. And we host a dinner in unique locations. We were just on stage, Dinner for 60 at Shane Park.
This makes me want to write a book.
Oh my God, that was fantastic. So when is the next one?
So the next one is November 13th with the singer-songwriter Dar Williams. She has her first book out.
It's up your alley.
It is up my alley.
Yep. So she's going to be with us at Assemble Sound. We are sold out for the dinner, but we do have a number of performance-only tickets. And then in December, we are going to have Bethany Ball, who wrote the book What to Do About the Solomons. And Bethany is awesome for all of us because she's a Detroit girl. She left, but she's from here. Her mama taught in Detroit Public Schools. First book, she's coming back, so we can't wait to present Bethany at the Foundation Hotel in December.
That sounds great. You just have lots and lots of things in the mix.
We do. We're starting a subscription book box so you can get the book if you can't come to Detroit for our events, which I'm sorry if you don't live in Detroit. That's very sad for you. But you'll still be able to get the experience in a box. You'll get a signed first edition of the book, just like if you went to the event. You'll get the custom cocktail recipe and so much more. Tasty treats all in one fancy box delivered straight to your door.
Tasty treats in a box,
amazing.
Newman.
Tasty.
Possibly bras could go in it. Not really. 'cause
Yeah. Chocolates.
Underwear, though.
Underwear.
Yeah, we could put underwear in there.
Amy,
How do you-
what? Oh,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
How do you find your authors?
So for 2017, because this has been our first year, it's been a little hit or miss, just as I read the New York Times review of books. I follow Electric Lit. I am on Goodreads, just a number of places sort of figuring out who was coming, what people were talking about. But for 2018, I actually have a spreadsheet because I'm kind of like words, but also I'm a spreadsheet dork. And so I've got a spreadsheet for every month next year, and I've been going through all the publishers' catalogs looking for women authors, debut or second book. We've done mostly fiction this year, but we're expanding into more nonfiction next year.
You've really grown this quickly.
So we started with our first one in June. It was a picnic in Elmwood Cemetery with two fabulous murder mysteries. And I want to say, shady ladies,
I
we
know.
are
Oh my
not just
God.
highfalutin. We are ladies who can sit on a tailgate as well as like go to the theater. So we are like the New York Times review of books, like way cooler younger sister who, likes a good cocktail with their book and like can kick it in cowboy boots
give
as
me a
well
bourbon
as heels.
instead of tea.
Yeah, totally.
I love cemeteries and murder,
So
as Lena.
Yeah,
So
we listened to a murder podcast, and we wouldn't watch it
a
live.
couple of murder podcasts.
She's like, more than one, lady. Yeah, she really does.
so we started then and we've really grown it since then. And I'm looking at how to grow this even further in 2018.
I'm just absolutely amazed. I just remember when you were like, I think I want to do this. And I'm like, then just do it.
Well, that leads to the next question. Amy, what's your background? What do you do? I mean, obviously this is a passion for you, but what's your background that got you into it?
So actually, I've been a journalist my entire career covering small business and entrepreneurship. I used to be the entrepreneurship editor at Crane's Detroit Business. And then I left that to write my own book called Detroit Hustle, which was about rehabbing my house in Detroit, my husband and I. But what we discovered while I was on book tour was how hard it was for emerging authors, for young authors. I don't mean young just in age. I mean young in their career, to actually get support and be able to get their stories out there, because publishers don't actually have a ton of money to support you. So they're like, well, if you got friends and family, maybe we'll send you there. Bookstores might want to support you, bring you in for an event, but they don't have any money to fly you. So it becomes this like vicious circle of you can't get your story out even though you've been published because publishers won't send you, bookstores can't bring you. And then on top of that, add that publishers just don't think that we have a real reading community here in Detroit, so they definitely don't ever send anybody to Detroit.
That's just insane.
Which, right, we're a region of 4.5 million. We know we've got, a fabulous, group of, millions who read here, who are passionate about a lot of different kinds of stories. And so in that process, I thought, how could we create something where we get to support these women, where we can sort of change this a little bit and make huge advocates for our beautiful, complicated, amazing city all at the same time. And so that's sort of where we came.
See how good she is with words?
We decided that, so
Words be
our motto is that in these times that are ever more polarized, good food, good stories, and good drink can bring us together. Come be a shady lady.
Comfy as shady lady. I'm in.
Is there a website?
ShadyLadiesLiterarySociety.com.
Wow.
Also, Instagram and Facebook, we are Shady Ladies Lit, because shady ladies be lit.
Awesome. And Lisa is just an old friend. I mean, not that you're old, but we've been friends for a long time.
Thanks. I'm just and old. Let me emphasize old.
Old friend who's introduced. She actually introduced me to podcasts because I had
did.
no idea, and I was like, I'll do one too.
What was the
Wow.
first podcast you introduced her to?
Either
It was the
it
murders.
was it
Yeah.
My Favorite Murder, and the other one was the old
history one.
Hollywood one.
Yeah, she was kind of boring though. She kept putting in really dramatic music, and I was like, wah wah. I'm driving, damn it. But I've found a new one. It's called When Life Gives You Melons, and it's a
about
podcast
boobs?
that is sponsored by Freya. Freya is one of the bra companies. But yeah, When Life Gives You Melons. And it's these wonderful women with heavy, heavy accents from somewhere in Great Britain. And they're phenomenal. Today, the one I was listening to on the way here was actually talking about jobs and, some of the worst advice and best advice and worst things you did to get fired. And it was all about women, though. It's very, When Life Gives You Melons. It's adorable. So I recommend that one. And then I also recommend My Favorite Murder. My Favorite Murder.
And then another one that I just started listening to, which is along the lines of My Favorite Murder, is called "And That's Why We Drink." And one of the people does murder or a crime, and the other person tells the story of a paranormal.
I'm listening to the
experience.
wrong podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my podcast, but I'm like 99% invisible. Let's
Yeah,
learn about
like,
science
no,
and design.
I
I'm
have
like, I
those
need to
too,
learn about
but
murder.
Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to be that intellectual. The other one is Paula Poundstone has one called the Poundstone Institute.
Really?
It's
You
hilarious.
haven't told me about that, and I adore her.
How much parenting advice is in that one?
I don't know, but there's a lot of talk about cats and dogs.
Maybe she's telling her court order about parenting. Not allowed to speak about it.
It's like I can't talk about that situation.
So, yeah, unfortunately, with the murder thing, I have been going to my son Lively and saying, so if someone actually says, look, these handcuffs don't really work, they're from a magician's thing. I'm like, it's not
That's
real.
John
They
Wayne
will-
Gacy. Run.
They will actually put those handcuffs on you and kill you. He's like, what?
Well, make sure that Lively.
You're speaking of parenting. Excellent parenting.
Good job, Lee.
What's next, Lee? Are you going to sit him down and have him watch Gerald's game now?
What's that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
Jess, are you familiar with? Okay, Gerald's game
Nothing.
was a story by Stephen King, noted author. You may have heard of him.
that did it. All right, no.
Well, here's the thing, long and short of it, and they just did a movie on it, which when they did the movie, I was kind of horrified going, you can't do a movie about this. They're married, they're a married couple, things, they want to spice it up. So
Somebody told me about this yesterday.
they decide to go out to the cabin in the woods. You know, he handcuffs her, gets on top, heart attack ensues, right? Well, at this point,
He
there's no
died.
phone. Yeah, he
And
died.
She's in
and
handcuffs.
she's hung
No
up,
phone.
handcuffed to the bed.
No water. So if that's not horrific enough, all of a sudden the door's left open, which means stray dog comes
Nope.
in.
Nope.
I don't want to give away the ending, but the
Nope.
ending.
Well, it's gotta
Yeah, that's
have.
a whole
There's gotta be
movie.
a whole bunch because I mean it would have been over real quick at that point, right?
the
Anyway.
ending is even more horrific than you would think it would.
Oh,
be.
awesome!
So, but yeah, it's great.
I'm
It's
not
a
sure
nice
how we
date
go to
night
more
movie.
horrific.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
doesn't-
sure how we.
yeah, that doesn't
how
sound
there's
great.
a leap to get to.
No,
it.
but he will not be seeing that. He does want to watch Vikings because I talk about Vikings all the time, and it's coming back on. So I might let him catch up a little bit.
Vikings.
Vikings is on the History Channel.
Just because it's on the History Channel doesn't mean it's appropriate.
It doesn't. You may have to watch it first because I'm like, he would love Ragnar. Okay, let's get to my story. All right, so we've done bras.
We're
we have
not-
my
well,
bitches.
well,
We've
I
talked a
don't-
little
Are
bit
we
about
done with
bras.
Vikings?
We have not
Well,
even
that's what I'm
talked
talking
to
about
Lisa yet.
But she's not just
Lisa
my friend. She's also my
is
lawyer.
a counselor. She is right.
So there's that too. She's just my friend and a lawyer.
So let's just talk a little bit about Lisa and law and what type of law do you specialize in?
So my partner, who was here before we
You're a
started,
pocket person.
she's like 4'11". If she listens to this, she's going to be like, "I'm 5 foot tall. Don't give me that extra inch."
She's so pretty.
Isn't she adorable?
Yeah.
So we met 2 years ago, and through our friend Ellen, who told us we should meet, and we eventually ended up sitting next to each other at a board meeting for an organization we were involved in and met, and we ended up loving each other. So I had been at a large law firm for 10 years. She and I got together. She's been on her own. But I am in real estate, nonprofits, and general business advising. So, do a lot of lease review, purchase agreements.
So a lot of my friends are like, I'm looking at this new place to rent. And I'm like, wait, send it to Lisa. You don't do this on your own.
You know, it's funny. I do nonprofits, and I'm a real estate agent, and it's like
Yeah.
everything
You're like,
is
oh.
right there, right in the
Oh yeah, you
wheelhouse.
two should actually be. Yeah, see, networking.
You were gonna say hook up.
What's the name of your firm, Lisa?
We'll hook
Dorn
you
Burden,
up.
PLLC.
Professional limited
And if
liability
you ever need
company.
Lisa, just call me at Busted because I know where she is.
I
most
can
of
be
the time.
found. I'm pretty easy to find. I'm pretty easy.
You're
Hi, I'm Newman.
So anyway,
Good thing there's no video or audio of it.
the internet's forever. Yay. All right.
Okay, so you have a very special story
I do.
that ties with everything that we're talking about today because we've got the
Yep.
Shady Ladies, right? And you're going to be published, so
It's
she'll
already
be able
been
to handle-
published.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so
It was online published a few years ago with a magazine that does poetry.
4chan doesn't count.
I published it on Reddit.
Harsh, man. Harsh. It's just
But if you, let's discuss whenever you can break in with this one. If
No,
you
no,
want
no.
to.
When
What?
you start your
No,
story,
no,
you
we're not
need
reading
to
it.
No,
read.
no,
Yes.
you can break in because
No.
it's there's some anyway. I'll talk.
No, we have
Okay.
notepads. We can write our notes, but you're gonna read
This was a one stream of consciousness and a lot of wine when Patrick was out of the country at one point, and I was like, I want to write this, inspired by people who were like these people. Okay, yes, I can't see anymore, so I have to wear my reading glasses.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present Lee Paget with Bondage and Butterflies.
Butterflies and bondage. So divorce sucks. High heels suck. Getting old sucks. Love sucks, but sometimes that kind of sucking is a good thing. For Angela, most things suck. Or they seem to suck for her. Her Facebook status is full of how bad things are. She has a brain fever 1 week. Her daughter gets cut taking out the garbage. Her first husband turns out to be gay. She falls in high heels and rips every ligament in her body. She looks good, though, and everyone can see that she needs attention. She and her second husband are ending their 10-year marriage because, according to her, he is too negative. All right. She started dating a guy that everyone calls Zaza. What kind of name is that? Sounds like candy. Maybe he is candy. This could be good, right? I decided to ask her if he is sweet. She tells me he's wonderful, that he treats her so great, and that the lovemaking is wonderful. They think sing-song voice here, like, and the lovemaking is wonderful. Okay, whatever. He owns a porn shop and buys her the greatest outfits. Wait, porn shop? Outfits? Who is this Zaza guy? Turns out he really owns a porn shop. He dresses her up like a schoolgirl, and they have mad sex. Mad? She will tell me later what she means by mad. The kid is in the next room. I don't think I want to know. I've known this lady a long time, when she was definitely not a lady. I have seen her through fat clothes and skinny clothes. I know her biggest fear. No one knows mine, not even me. Hers is a doozy. She's scared of butterflies. Angela was locked outside during a monarch swarm.
No. That's awful.
And that's based on an old friend of mine. Anyway, it was terrifying for her. I try to sympathize. I really do. But swarming butterflies? I think I would strip and let their delicate wings kiss me all over. Not Angela. No way. She swears they were trying to suck out her brains. I keep trying to imagine the little zombie butterflies. It is tough. No sympathy. Angela calls just as I'm ready to start going to bed process. As I get older, that process gets longer and more expensive. She calls to talk about the love of her life, the man who we all have to accept because he is her soulmate. She has his rib. He is the one. I figured the sex must be pretty good, so I decide to get a glass of wine and turn on porn from Zaza's. I may as well have some visuals. She goes on and on about how he let her wear his dead mother's fur to a big fancy event. Small business owners go to these kinds of things, she says. It is for charity, and he has to make his appearances for his charity, blah, blah. He owns a porn store. He's not a florist. Then she starts talking about the sex. Now I'm engaged again. New relationship sex is fantastic, right? He likes to bind her up. Then what? Well, he's allergic to Viagra. So what? He licks her ear with the biggest tongue. Oh, and he is the porn shop owner who can't get it up? That's ironic. Major irony. Didn't she say the sex was mad? Why? Because she's pissed that there actually is no sex? There used to be sex, but now he's impotent. How long have you guys been doing this? 6 weeks? He just became impotent and he's allergic to Viagra? Why is he binding you up? Is it just who he is and he likes it? Don't you feel like a caterpillar all snug in your cocoon, ready to be a butterfly? There, I said it, butterfly. The conversation ended with some yelling and some name calling. I was done with this whole thing. I had to get back to the porn. There was a lady in the screen with a butterfly tattoo on her ass. Her Facebook status was about jealous people who just wanted to hurt her. He is not allergic to Viagra. There are no zombie butterflies, and life is pretty good if you just look up instead of down. He is fucking someone else. Really, this is just going to drive me insane. All right, are you guys okay so far? Yeah, okay. You're looking at me kind of funny.
I need a minute.
All right, ready? Okay. Life goes by without a hitch for a while, and I see Angela out in town one night. It was awkward, but I walked over and said hello. She was a little glossy-eyed. I figured out it was the pitcher of margaritas that was empty in front of her. I did the I'm sorry thing and mumbled something. She acted like I was high. Don't you remember our last conversation? She was totally clueless. She took me over to meet Zaza. Oh, yes, hello. I'm a patron of your store. Nice selection of lesbian pirates. He asked if I liked the bondage section. Pardon me? I'm not really a bondage type person. I don't need to be put in a cocoon to get off. He liked that. I looked over and Angela was dipping her long curly tongue into a potted plant. Whoa.
What?
What was in that last drink? You okay, girl? Zaza takes me by the arm and leads me outside to the tiki porch. His facial features look less human than they did in the bar. His jacket seems to have some orange in it that I didn't pick up on before. He says that Angela's fine. She's pregnant. That's all. Oh, Pregnancy makes you have a long, curly butterfly tongue to suck up dirt? What the fuck? It was the swarm. The swarm really happened. Is he a butterfly? A 6-foot-tall blonde porn store owning butterfly? Why don't we sit down over here by these flowers? Angela is on her way out. It is time to give birth. She came out. Her eyes looked liquid. She didn't look at me. Zaza's coat unfolded like huge wings. Y'all okay? Very impressive. Could I fly him like a Pegasus? Who are all these? Well, not people, but aliens. Yes, Zaza says we are aliens. They picked out Angela one hot day. They were all particularly horny, and they noticed that she was all alone and looking a bit down. They decided to try to brighten her day with a little alien butterfly sex. They were pretty new to Earth and needed a little strange. She thought that they were sucking out her brains, but they were really fucking her brains out. This should have been just been a good time. A one-time thing. No one would get hurt, but as luck would have it, no one had a good condom, and Zaza cracked a nut in Angela's head. All those negative thoughts she has had all these years, all those bad things that people said were in her head. Really, they were in her head. Zaza's alien babies were feasting on her from the inside out. Alien butterfly babies take a long time to hatch. So Zaza set up shop in this little town to be a good dad for his kids. He was going to be there for the birth and raise those kids up right. Besides, making money off humans was pretty easy. Porn sells. He had watched Angela for years, and now the day had arrived for the bouncing baby butterflies to emerge from their brainy goo. For that was all that was left. Just goo and babies. Angela was just a shell. She made an awesome mom. She gave it all up for her 250,000 kids. How many? Do I want to see this? How do they get out? The same way they get in, like human babies? Nope. Eyeballs. They come through the eyeballs. I think I may be sick. Zaza really wanted me to stay. Then he started telling me what nice, soft ears I have. That's it.
That's fantastic, Lee. Hi, Mom. Lee, when did you write that?
About 4 years ago.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
While your husband was away.
Mm-hmm.
What brought the story? What was the impetus for the story?
I had been reading crazy Facebook posts from people, and
There is not a Facebook post in the world that I've seen
That would make you go there.
that talks about butterflies or butterfly fucking.
well, a lady that I knew in another part of the country told me this story about getting swarmed by butterflies, and there were a lot of things that went on in conversations with other people, and you'd always hear people say negative things, and I would always, I don't know, dude. It was a gift. Sort of like the name Busted. It just came to me.
So, do you write a lot? Is that the only story that you've ever written?
I write a lot. That's the only story I've finished.
Why?
I don't know. I can't get out of my own way. But people keep telling me that should be a screenplay. And I'm like, I don't know. Actually, they say I should write a bigger novel. But I'm like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a screenplay in the Zaza porn shop. That's where it's going to be a screenplay. Right, but no, it's a short story that has that turn where you're like, okay, what just happened? Where you'll reread it, And the great thing about the story is it's unexpected from where it starts and where it ends, right? But it's a short story.
Yeah, it's 4 whole pages. Actually, it's not even. That's
not a 12 font, double space. Trust me, we remember. What do you want to do with it?
I don't know.
It's just a story.
What do you do with it?
We're not acting it out.
So I thought I would share.
It's a theater bazaar room.
Oh, that's a great, that is totally a theater
That's
bizarre
true.
room. Yeah.
Lisa, what are your thoughts?
You're a lawyer.
I'm speechless.
I'm a lawyer.
So many things I'll never be able to unsee in my mind.
Yeah. I don't really know that it would be in the porn shop. It's more of a horror story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is more of a horror. Yeah, it's not erotic where you're like.
But I think it is kind of erotic.
Well, it is.
Until
There
the
are
eyeballs.
fetishes out there for alien
Or the
insects.
alien tongue, and I was Yeah, that was the turning point. I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
I was like, are they on acid and her face is melting off and she's confused about what's happening? No. Alien, zombie, butterflies.
Yeah, that'd be it.
It is really interesting how it started because, the very first paragraph, I mean, the whole thing is well written and kind of gets fantastical at the end. But that sort of first paragraph, that voice, that character, I want to know her more. Like
Right.
you go into the crazy, and I think that's a super fun story. And so a lot of writers start a lot of stories and don't finish them. You start one, you get it published, but some character sticks with you. Like that character is going to stick with me for a while.
There were 2 stories in there, Lee, and Amy hit it right on the head, where your first 2 words, divorce sucks, period, right? You're intrigued by it. You're like, where's it going? Because it didn't sound like somebody's just bitching about my life sucks or anything else. It's a statement of inherent fact that divorce sucks, right? As you went through, your first 2, I was the same way. I was drawn in by the character, the initial character, going, interesting, where's it going? Because we've all seen the pitfalls in the first couple paragraphs of what that character did. And then it went. There are 2 stories in there, and I think it's not criticism. It's more constructive from a standpoint of you could make a lot more from that story based on those 2 stories, but interweaving. I think that's where Stephen King made all of his money.
He's brilliant.
Well, I was surprised by the first paragraph because I know some of your literary tastes, and I was like, I know what Lee likes, and she definitely likes a zombie butterfly fucking thing.
Awesome.
And so I was like, this seems very like, highbrow literature, like for Lee. And then it landed where I was like, ooh, Lee did take me where I thought she was going to go. And that makes me super happy too.
Cool.
I had no idea where Lee was going.
I didn't know you guys were going to critique me. I thought you'd just all laugh at me and go, what the hell? Did
Actually,
you
it kind of
just
makes me think of when Newman mentioned the kind of the 2 stories. It makes me think sort of like Charlene Harris, fantastical Southern novel kind of thing where you've got Sookie and she's one person and then all of the crazy werewolf. Yeah, and I don't watch the show, so I don't
I
know
binged
the show,
it.
but the books
I
were
binged
fun.
the
that
whole
one.
thing.
No, but
I
yeah.
did too, because Patrick wouldn't watch it.
Oh, no,
he was
Carl-
just like, no way, True Blood. I'm not watching it.
Carl wouldn't watch it, and then I finally got him to watch an episode, and then that man is like, rewatched the entire series 3 times.
Really?
Yeah. He loves himself some True Boob.
Yeah.
True. See, I love the books, but
you've seen it.
the show I
No.
could
You
not
haven't
get
seen
into.
True Blood?
No.
Oh, it's
Really?
It's good.
I love
Sookie
it.
Stackhouse.
You do too?
It's amazing.
I hated the ending of it.
Oh, yeah.
I hated the last season of it.
I'm a cord cutter, so where would I find True Blood?
Netflix.
yeah.
Amazon. Either one, Netflix,
yeah,
Amazon
either
Prime. One of them.
How many seasons?
Oh, 7?
Yeah.
That many? Yeah.
By the 7th season, we were definitely like in jump the shark territory,
Yeah.
but you just had to see what they were going to do with it.
Oh, yeah. Because I love the characters.
I couldn't get past the first couple of episodes because it just ticked me off. I think probably because I'd read the books or I would have not cared.
That's the biggest problem that I have right now, starting some of the Sons of Anarchy or Entourage, Shameless. The problem is I'll get into like season 4 and I'll catch just a small little thing and I go online, right? And I see what's going to happen and I'm done.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching porn. You're interested, very interested, and then suddenly you lose interest.
Yeah. So here's something I want us to play with now. I want us to do quotes from some of our favorite shows. All right. So because once you said Sons of Anarchy, one of the best quotes out there ever was it's the mom and she's in Jack's room. It's like the first scene in the whole thing. And she's picking stuff up and she's like, I can't tell if it smells like old socks or pussy in here. And I'm like, yes.
I am amazed that you remember that line. I'm like,
I know I didn't quote it right, but I
I can
that
quote
line.
West Wing. I don't know if I can quote Sons of Anarchy.
I'm like, I don't know any
I'm
good
not
SOA
very
quotes.
good at quotes at
but I
all.
love SOA.
Really?
I mean,
Me either.
Anchorman is about all I got.
So 210, 220, whatever it takes.
Oh, that's Mr. Mom.
Ah, yeah. It was Mr. Mom.
That's Michael Keaton. Yeah.
You gotta love Michael
Well,
Keaton.
okay, so maybe stuff pre 1990.
So see, you are good at it.
No, that's just the one you picked.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I'm not good at.
Yeah.
I can watch the same movie over and over and over again and not remember a quote
Doesn't
from it.
Yeah, that doesn't stick. I'm a writer, so people assume I'm going to be like aces at Scrabble, and I'm like, nope. Like on the spot, can't come up with a word. I'm like cat. That's all I got. CAT, nothing.
Sorry, but it takes a while to come up with the right word.
Wow. Yeah, I could movie quote all day long. I love movies. I don't read as much as I probably should, but I love watching movies. But I get into the whole thing, the visuals, the costume, the makeup. And I did movies. I was in movies for a long time, and none of it was porn. We
That
went
she'll
to
admit to.
No, that's true.
So
But
we have
there
to
was
ask then, it's porn though. Are you?
But you worked
who's
with
watching-
Sid Caesar, so it should have been porn.
no, it wasn't Sid Caesar.
Milton
Harvey
Berle.
It was
Weinstein.
Milton Berle.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like Harvey Weinstein.
Sheesh. Oh, right.
Too soon?
Right.
No, I was did the whole Matlock thing. I got to meet all kinds of people. That was fun. Yeah.
Now, what about the Deuce? So, how are we feeling about the Deuce? Since we're talking porn today, how are we feeling about the Deuce?
Deuce Bigelow?
No, the new HBO show, The Deuce.
Oh.
I haven't even
By
heard
the-
of that.
I
By
haven't
the-
either.
by the creator
What
of
is
The
she
Wire.
talking about?
I know who the hedgehog
Thought
is.
she
Who
was,
the
like,
fuck is the
going to
dude?
It's
Got
got
a
James
poop
Franco,
fetish or
Maggie
something.
Gyllenhaal.
Right.
All set in the 70s of the rise of the porn industry
Oh,
in
someone
New York
was
Times.
telling me
I
about
saw
New York.
this.
Yeah.
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 Well,
It's good.
Now that so I've done Narcos and
I haven't done Narcos yet.
El Chapo. I'm done with El Chapo. I've gotten everything out of it I can, and so now that I'm
Did you get all the way to Sean Penn saving everything?
in El Chapo.
Well,
Sean Penn-
yeah, didn't he go?
Oh no! Right now in the series, they have him still in jail. They did two really.
So he's
really
digging a tunnel
hard
right now,
ones.
so it's going to be a really long season.
Well, right now they've just been tortured. They tortured him for 2 whole shows. I was just like, son of a.
Yeah, now you're going
bitch.
to have 7 episodes of him with a spoon.
As long as they keep speaking Spanish, I'm good. That's how I figure I'm going to learn.
I'm in
Spanish.
season 2 of Highway to Heaven.
Oh my god!
Oh, Michael
Really?
Landon, he was
You're
the best.
He was the best.
You're so cute. So okay, Michael Landon, Little House on the Prairie, the Half Pint. What's her name? She lives
Melissa
here-
Gilbert.
Melissa Gilbert, yeah.
Melissa Gilbert Busfield.
She did some stuff in Wilmington, North Carolina years ago, and I was on her show with her. And she's a pretty mean pool player.
Didn't she run for election until she withdrew around?
Well, she
in
was
Brighton?
going to run. She never officially. I think she did officially
filed, but she
file,
then
yeah.
pulled out. I think she was having some health issues or something.
She was having health issues. The tax issue had come up, and she decided. And I think Timothy Busfield, who was her husband, was like, you know what? I don't think we really want to get into this at all. And so they tried to actually force her to keep her name on the ballot. Because they knew it was going to be easy and they didn't want somebody to step in and run against. But yeah, she was going to run. But you know what? I just on a political aspect of it, she was, for somebody that's that strong and a member of SAG, the head of SAG, she was just a political neophyte. She was not doing even the small little press. Free press is great, especially when you're running for any kind of office. And I remember we had reached out from a couple of our nonprofits.
Hour? You have to tell who Hour
yeah,
is.
who is we?
The Joe Koser Foundation
There you
for
go.
Children, right?
Oh, cool.
Which we have a softball game in the middle of summer, 4,000 people. This year we raised $180,000, right? And all the money stays local. We have 6 charities we deal with, and we won't give to any national charities. We make sure that every dime that we raise, and none of us take a salary, it's self-serving. I don't care. We do great work, and we do great work in the community. And our celebrity softball game, everybody's a celebrity that plays in that game.
Just in case there are people who are like me, Joey Kosher played for the Red Wings
Joe Koser is a 4-time Stanley Cup champion.
and
played for the
apparently
Detroit Red
can
Wings.
really throw a mean right hook.
You know what? One last thing that I'll mention before we get. There's a movie on Netflix right now called Ice Guardians, and it's about fighting in hockey. And I was not a proponent of fighting in hockey. I knew it was there. It just seemed like a big macho thing. I'm going to tell you, the movie, it's a documentary about an hour and a half long. After I got done, I actually called Joe and I said, I get it now. I understand exactly. And we understand, you know who Sidney Crosby is. Plays for Pittsburgh Penguins. He's multi-Stanley Cup winner. He's huge. But you know what? He's had like 6 concussions. And his career's just about over. And the primary reason is because fighting has really been frowned upon in hockey. The enforcers are gone. The Kosers, the Proberts of the world that used to protect, the Yzerman, the Gretzkys of the world, that if you took a run at the other team's number 1 player, right, you were going to get your ass beat and you were going to pay the price for it. And they don't have that. And so now the top stars in the league get run. So circling all the way back. So we had reached out to Melissa Gilbert. Her people were like, yeah, she probably wouldn't be interested in that whatsoever. And I'm like, you know what? We get over 100,000 Facebook hits when we Facebook Live it and everything else. It's like, this is free advertising.
Yeah,
for you.
and it's a charity. There's no reason to not be interested in it.
Well, some people's schedules, we understand that.
Right.
But really, and, you know, it's different if people are getting paid or something like that. So it was, you know, would have loved to seen it, but that the way that districts are gerrymandered in Michigan now, you know,
I know what that word means.
good, you should, because
do.
of
I'm very
everything,
proud of that.
all the nonsense that's going on. And you know what? We could do a whole hour on politics, and I'm just going to stop.
We're not going to.
No. I'm just going to be done. But,
Bras, bitches, balls.
But I do have to say,
bitches,
apparently
and
the
balls.
pronunciation, which no one ever pronounces, is gerrymandered. So if you go to Massachusetts or wherever the original,
Isn't that what? Isn't that what the other president that was a star, Ronald Reagan? Didn't he say gerrymandering?
I
I
have
think
no
he
idea.
did. I think he did.
I don't know, but
Look it up.
that's correct because the guy was named after was
Things you
Gary.
learn on bitches,
Bra-
balls, and
Bras, bitches, and balls. We
This
start
is
with
educational programming, people.
bras. That's right.
the more you know.
That's right.
That's one to grow on.
Ding, ding, ding. So
No,
there-
the one to grow on was earlier in the episode.
there's one more thing I want to talk about before I know we got to go because we're cutting it pretty tight here. Something that we're going to do, you and I are going to do this week, is we're going to be at Tech Town.
Oh yeah. Tech. It's Toast of the Town.
Toast of the Town
Thursday
at Tech
evening.
Town, celebrating small businesses. If you're curious as to what that is, look it up. You have a computer in your pocket or your back or your purse, those little phone things. But it's going to be phenomenal to see what new businesses are coming out of the city, and it's a gala, and you're going to see the local Rotary group there. And Lisa is part of. She enjoys Rotary with me, and Amy's been to a Rotary meeting with us before.
I have.
Is this the nighttime or the daytime one?
Well,
It's the
technically,
cocktail one.
It's the cocktail one.
The cocktail one.
Cocktails, ladies.
I mean, we're talking
Books.
shady ladies here. We're
Shady
cocktail
ladies, yes.
cocktail
We're
Rotary.
a cocktail club. And the Detroit AM Club and the Detroit Cocktail Club are technically the same club. We just meet at different times of the day, and some have coffee and some have wine. So if you are interested in Rotary, you can find us on Facebook, and you can also just call me at Busted and say, hey, I'd like to go to Rotary. Or send me a message through our Facebook page here at Bras, Bitches, and Balls. We meet at Traffic Jam and Snug most Thursdays at 5:30 to 7. So, and we're not on time.
And Toast of the Town does have, I'll be taking money at the door for people who register at the door. So if you have not pre-registered, you can still attend.
It's a pretty big place too. So, you know, I if you're interested in what's happening in small business in the city, what's coming up, and who they're really starting to highlight, come and see us over at Tech Town in Midtown Detroit. I think it'll be fun. It'll be Thursday.
And despite having the word tech in its name, Techtown is not just for small businesses that might be focused on tech or high-tech companies. They do a lot to support retail businesses, businesses in the neighborhoods, really help people of color access capital, things like that. They are a broad, full-service support for entrepreneurs of all kinds in the city.
Did you know that Lyft was sprung out of Tech Town?
I did not know Lyft was sprung
Lyft?
out.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you go into Tech Town, there's a giant pink mustache in there.
Lyft was started out of Ithaca College.
They also got help at Tech Town.
Interesting. I only know this because I listened to the podcast How I Built This with Guy Raz, and I listened to the Lyft. That's all I know.
I think we cover your nerdy podcast.
Very nerdy.
So
But I
with
love small
that,
business.
with that lead to wrap up, Amy, tell us again where we can find you on the web and social media.
On the web, you can find us at ShadyLadiesLiterarySociety.com. And on Facebook and Instagram, we are Shady Ladies Lit.
And Lisa, where can we find you?
You can find Heather and I and our information at dornburden.com, DORNBERDEN.
.com.
And Lee, we can find you at Busted in Detroit
Busted in Detroit.
and
And Bras, Bitches, and Balls. And we are across all social media that I know about because apparently I didn't know about some things. But
There's a
Are
whole
you
lot of it you
Snapchatting?
don't know about.
no, I don't Snapchat. There's no snapping and
No
chatting.
snapping.
But there's IGing.
Instagram.
So you are on
You gram.
you are on Instagram.
Well, we have younger ladies who work for me at Busted, and I kept saying Instagram, and apparently that's too hard to say.
You gram.
Now they say IG.
Well, just like Andrew has schooled me and said whenever I'm looking for something, he said, well, GTS, dude. And I'm like, GTS? Google that shit.
I'm like, go to school?
Google that shit.
So Numi has a 18-year-old, 19-year-old,
Yes, Andrew is 18 years old.
18-year-old.
But we're wrapping up the show.
It's like,
So-
we're not going to talk about my age.
No, but we were at lunch the other day, and I just talked like I normally talk, and it was probably raunchier than normal because we weren't on a mic. And Newman just looked at me like, "Shut up."
Except she doesn't talk like that in front of her 11-year-old, and I
He's
am the
10.
friend who swears.
He said, "She is. Lisa's the friend who swears."
When's your friend who swears coming over, Mom?
Yep,
I have a picture of a smoking bunny in my house, and I've got 4-year-old twins that come over all the time and really want to understand why the bunny is smoking. And I'm like, oh, no good answer. Smoking is bad for you. Please do
Yeah.
not get cancer. All people.
That bunny is dead now.
The rabbit done died.
All right,
and
and
with
now
that-
we'll be putting the vomit spots onto the outtakes.
Thanks, Jess, for
Fatal
working the board.
attraction
Thank
here.
you, Jess.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Amy. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks, Newman.
Thank you.
Thank
Anytime.
you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for listening to my bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to wrap.